Thanks for inviting us in. It's 11 o'clock and we begin tonight with breaking news near Washington, D.C. Want you to see this video from EarthCam just into our newsroom. A midair collision between a passenger plane and a Black Hawk helicopter. Tonight, NBC News is reporting at least one of those aircrafts crashed into the Potomac River, which is near Reagan National Airport. All of this unfolding just a couple of hours ago. Now I want to give you a live look right now. This is the massive search and rescue operation that is underway. That airplane was an American Airlines flight out of Wichita, Kansas. CNN tonight reporting 60 passengers and 4 crew on board. 3 soldiers were reportedly on the Black Hawk helicopter. The collision taking place just as the plane was approaching the runway at Reagan. The FBI is saying there is no indication tonight's crash was the result of a crime or terrorism. Right now, all the takeoffs and landings are suspended at Reagan Airport. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading tonight's investigation along with the FAA. Now, we're going to be following this story closely for you overnight. You'll see all of the breaking developments on Sunrise beginning at 4 a.m. And now, breaking in the last hour, Indiana State Police released new details tonight about a police shooting along I-69 in Pendleton that ended with a man's death. Our Logan Gay joins us in the newsroom tonight with this new information. Logan?
Well, Scott, state police say it started with a call about a man walking along the interstate, but when officers responded, things escalated quickly. This happened along I-69 near State Road 38 in Madison County. State police say officers with the Pendleton Police Department and Madison County Sheriff's Office approached the man when he pulled a knife from his jacket pocket. That's when investigators say police tried to de-escalate the situation, telling him to drop the knife repeatedly. State police tell us the man refused and aggressively advanced towards the officers. And that's when the Madison County Sheriff's deputy deployed a taser, but that didn't work. After that, state police say the Pendleton police officer pulled his gun and shot the man.
The actions from this individual has caused the response from the officers to have to draw their weapon and defend themselves. So again, it seems lately that individuals are causing officers to have to respond using lethal force.
The man was taken to the hospital where he died. Investigators remained on scene along the interstate for hours, closing the southbound lane to traffic. We checked and those lanes have reopened. The Pendleton officer involved in the shooting has been placed on paid administrative leave while they investigate. Both the officer and the sheriff's deputy on the scene were wearing body cameras. State police are now leading the investigation into the shooting.
It's been a dry evening across central Indiana, but we're keeping a close eye on a developing weather system that's producing some rain down to our southwest. Dry start, but grab the umbrella out the door on Thursday. Early morning temperatures cold enough you'll still need that coat. Upper 20s and low 30s. Come the afternoon hours, you'll need the umbrella. It's going to be another mild afternoon, 45 to 50 degrees, but it's also going to be a soggy afternoon. Here's the dry start with Future Track 13. Here comes the rain shortly after lunchtime, becoming heavy at times tomorrow night. I'll cover that in the full forecast.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit, Angela. Thanks. And now to Governor Mike Braun's first State of the State address tonight. He focused on lowering costs for Hoosiers, everything from health care to property taxes. But some Democrats skipped tonight's speech. Instead, they held a simultaneous rally opposing the governor's agenda. Our Emily Longnecker shares the main takeaways from the address and the conflict brewing at the Indiana State House.
Well, there weren't any surprises tonight in Governor Braun's first State of the State address. He talked about many of the same topics that he has already addressed in his Freedom and Opportunity agenda. One of those topics, lowering property taxes.
Hoosiers from all over the state told me these tax bills keep rising, but wages aren't keeping up with that pace. This is not sustainable.
Braun said he wants to cut property taxes for new homeowners and seniors, cap annual increases, and reform the system long term. Democratic lawmakers say they agree Hoosiers need property tax relief, but say it shouldn't come at the expense of local services.
Governor Braun says local government can do more with less. But when you're having a heart attack and call 911, do you want the people coming to help you to be doing more with less? Do you want them underfunded? I think no.
In his address, the governor also touched on his plan for lowering health care costs.
Signed several executive orders to pull back the curtain on health care prices, bring down costs.
Governor Braun said that also included audits to find waste and abuse in the state's own health care spending. Senate Republicans have a bill that would cut how much Indiana spends on Medicaid by putting caps on who would be eligible for coverage.
Governor Braun talks about lowering health care costs, but at the same time is threatening to take away the health care coverage that 1 in 3 Hoosiers rely on. I'm talking about Hoosier Care Connect, HIP, Hoosier Health-Wise, and all vital health care coverage under Indiana's Medicaid program.
In his address, Governor Braun also expressed support for universal school choice, something Democrats do not support. Noticeably absent in the House chamber, more than a dozen lawmakers, members of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus. They held a rally on the 4th floor during the governor's address, speaking out against his executive order that eliminates diversity, equity, and inclusion measures from state agencies. Democratic leaders said they supported their colleagues' choice not to attend the governor's address.
Words like diversity, equity, and inclusion, and education around diversity, equity, and inclusion only make our communities stronger.
Republican leaders said they were disappointed.
Well, it's certainly their prerogative to show up or not show up, but it's unfortunate, frankly. We want them at the table. They need to be at the table. We'll do better work with them at the table.
And one moment that brought a standing ovation on both sides of the aisle when Governor Braun announced tonight that Indiana ranks now 6th in the nation in reading, according to the 2024 National Assessment on Education Progress. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Now, if you missed any of the governor's State of the State address tonight, we've got you covered. You can watch the entire speech right now over on WTHR Plus, where it is streaming on demand. You can download our free app on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku. Tonight, we're getting a closer look at the implementation of a new tool for city employees to anonymously report workplace concerns. This is called Speakfully. Any current or former city and county employees can use this. The city adopted it last October after the council started looking into allegations of sexual misconduct within Mayor Joe Hogsett's administration and campaign. Now, since Speakfully launched 3 weeks ago, we've been told there have been 13 submissions in that local portal, and now a third party is sorting through these reports to determine what could qualify as a policy violation.
The 13, I think, tells us hopefully that the system's working, that people now have a forum to come forward and feel comfortable that it is in fact anonymous, since it is a third party.
The city of Indianapolis hired the Fisher Phillips law firm to investigate the misconduct allegations. Right now, we're expecting that law firm to issue a report with recommendations. It is due by the end of February. Tomorrow, the Northern Indiana grocery store where those 2 people were killed in a shooting this week is set to reopen. An employee and a customer died Monday night when a man opened fire inside a Martin's supermarket in Elkhart. 2 police officers were injured in an exchange of gunfire with the suspect. The shooter was killed that night. Our NBC affiliate in South Bend talked with the family of one of the victims. Her relatives told them they didn't even know what happened inside the store before the shooting, but they were hoping to get more answers after talking with investigators. So for now, we are still working to learn the motive. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines tonight. An Anderson police officer now charged with child solicitation and official misconduct is retiring. Investigators say Joshua Sensini was a school resource officer for Anderson Community Schools at the time of those alleged crimes. That was back in May of 2024. Detectives say a parent reported Sensini was sending inappropriate texts to minors. A special prosecutor is now on the case. The Delaware County prosecutor tonight is not filing charges against a Henry County Sheriff's deputy after a chase that ended with a deadly crash. This happened last April. That wreck killed 25-year-old Nicholas Wallum of Muncie, who was a passenger in the suspect's car. The driver of the car tonight is facing multiple criminal charges and is set to go on trial in March. East Palestine, Ohio and Norfolk Southern just reached a $22 million settlement after that train derailment that took place in 2023. The money is expected to go toward the village's response to that disaster. Several truckloads of waste from the derailment were brought to an Indiana landfill. Tonight, a new report reveals that Indiana kids are reading at a higher level. Tonight, we dug through the numbers from the National Assessment of Educational Progress. Here's what we learned. Fourth graders jumped to number 6 in the nation, up from 19th. And 8th graders also jumped to 6th in the nation. We've got an entire breakdown of this report online. There you can also see the numbers for math and hear from the State Secretary of Education, all on WTHR.com and on our 13 News app.